What's good, y'all? How y'all doing out there, man? What's up? How y'all doing? What's good, man? What's poppin'? How y'all doing out there, man? What's good? Hey, this is the time we used to do, man. This is kind of a vibe. I can't even lie to you. What's good, y'all? How y'all doing today, man? Happy hump day. Happy midweek. We almost at the weekend, baby. Let's go. What's good? Yup. Yes, sir, ski. Yes, sir, ski. We back, baby.
Tell me now how you want.
Hey, hey, hey.
Tell me now how you want.
Oh man, I love letting this shit rock out, man. What's good, y'all? Oh man. Oh, ain't it so beautiful, man? Hey, like all of a sudden, I got this ache in my back randomly just now. Yo, like what the fuck, man? Hey, man, welcome back to another episode of the Jayson Estrera podcast, where we talk about basketball as accurate as possible. Now, I don't know if exciting, I don't know if exciting would be the right word to describe everything that's going on with the NBA right now. But I'm sure some people do find this exciting. There's so much news right now. There's reports and it's a crazy time in the NBA, right? It went from all of these storylines on the court, right? If the Celtics were to lose, right, going into the playoffs last year or this last season, some of the conversations, is Shea gonna win an MVP over Jokic? If he does, is Jokic gonna have a revenge tour, this following season? If the Celtics don't repeat, are they gonna come back strong? If Shea wins, like all of these stories, narratives, LeBron, Luka, AD in Dallas with Kyrie, there were so many stories, in my opinion, going into this season. Cooper Flag coming in, like there were literally so many stories and that we could follow. Right, whatever your flavor is, there was a story that you could attach yourself to and watch throughout the entire season coming up. But right now, I don't think anyone cares about. I don't think anyone cares about any of that right now. We'll talk about Josh Giddey in just 1 second. I wanted to start with some of the crazy news that we have, right? I wanted to start with some of the crazy news that we have. So, let's see. Can I close? How do I? Oh, it's because that's what's live. Okay. Here, let's just read this together, y'all. And by the way, before we continue, if I sound like shit, I apologize. I don't know what happened, dog. I just felt like I'm starting to get a little bit under the weather, so I don't know what happened. So if I sound like shit, I completely apologize. If I look like I'm blacked out, just staring off into space, it's probably that. But we'll continue on. We'll continue right along. Now, Malik Beasley has been a topic of conversation for pretty much the whole summer, right? When the investigation into gambling allegations came up, all of the reports of He didn't pay the barber. He didn't pay this. He didn't pay that. Like, all of those things were coming out about Malik Beasley. And then a couple of weeks back, he got cleared, allegedly, right? He allegedly had gotten cleared. But now the NBA is conducting its own investigation into gambling allegations against Malik Beasley. The free agent guard linked to a federal probe this offseason, the league confirmed to ESPN on Wednesday. So, to anyone that has questions or is questioning why we haven't heard much of anything from Malik Beasley, this answers it right there, right? There's a lot of us that were wondering, why isn't he signed? Like, all of these questions, right? He had such a phenomenal year last year. A lot of us were thinking, with the news that he got cleared, that he would just re-sign with Detroit because he has very little value in the market with everyone being signed by now. A lot of people being signed. Teams have very little money compared to a month ago. So all of these things are going against Malik Beasley, only for it to make a full 180, and now he's getting investigated by the NBA as well. And of course, Pablo Torre is on the case. So we'll listen to this. We'll talk about Pablo and what's been happening over the past week with him. So let's look into this.
Terry Rozier news drops. This guy, _NBA, tweeted something that was even more provocative. On that day, he posted, quote, "First was Jonte, then was Rozier. Next you'll hear about capital M, 4 asterisks, capital B, and then 6 asterisks." This guy, _NBA, posted another tweet right after that one and said, "There's another current player who's gonna have a report come out about them next. Won't say the name, but they play on the Pistons right now."
What this is the first documented mention by anyone anywhere that Malik Beasley was going to come up as part of this investigation. This is how this news actually breaks. _NBA has it.
That's the crazy thing about this is maybe you think he's just throwing that betting slip is John second a betting slip from January 22nd, 2024. That betting slip is Jonte Porter unders. Under on points, 5.5, and under on rebounds, 3.5. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh yeah, that's the game, right? No. The game that was in the court filings that under investigation for the first time was January 26th.
Yes.
Meaning whoever placed the slip had the in on the Jonte Porter action months before the investigation was announced.
The question here is now very simple. The entire internet, the entire NBA, we can now confirm this, right? Everybody begins to ask, Tom, who...
And by the way, right, Pablo, I think he's been doing a great job of laying out the information, right? I wanted to say that part. I think he's been doing a phenomenal job of laying this out. Whether these things are true or not, I don't think really has anything to do with him, outside of you got to vet your sources. But I think he's been doing a phenomenal job of laying this out. And that's why you have a lot of basketball fans and now even non-basketball fans listening into a lot of these conversations.
Is Moose_NBA? How did a random Twitter user know about
_NBA deleted his account
until now?
All of the mystery appeared off the internet.
I'm busy at work, but not too bad. I took a little time off.
Oh yeah? What's work for you?
I am a manager at an auto collision shop.
When it comes to NBA
At an auto collision shop.
Twitter,
Allegedly.
this guy says he's very well connected.
I know a bunch of people involved in the NBA space, so if I ever have any questions, I'm able to eventually get them answered.
And he is the sort of guy, again, who wants people to know that he knows things, including a forthcoming report about Malik Beasley. So on January...
That it to be a little cryptic. I knew nobody would believe it, but obviously it's fine. I just put it out there just to be a little cryptic from when it did.
You know what I will say? They gave this man's full first and last name. So I don't think they should have done that. But let's talk about it. He talks about how Actually, was there a little bit more on this?
Come out. People could know a lot about, the gambling ring and NBA and stuff.
Who told him about Malik Beasley specifically? He kept claiming that this was something he saw on Reddit, which was kind of strange.
This is something that was dug up from Reddit. I mean, everything that I found that I tweet about, I only tweet about it because I find it publicly first.
I know people, I know things, but also I saw this on Reddit. So then I started asking Mustafa Omar, Moose, about the Jonte Porter FanDuel betting slip that he posted, which again was placed on January 22nd. Now, when I asked him about this, he became cagier than he'd been at any point in our conversation.
Honestly, I don't know much about the slip. Like I said, it was just sent to me from someone, but...
He said it was sent to him from someone else. It wasn't his betting slip. He just happened to get it and then post it onto his account. And this is where we should mention something we have not yet told Moose, which is that deep in our reporting, if it's going to have people involved.
If you think I have not spent every minute of my life towards this next project, I'm here to tell you that you are wrong. This next project is going to have people involved that no other project would be able to get their hands on. Some names I can't even legally mention because they made so much money off of a certain NBA gambling incident last season. This was on 11/27/2024. And are facing trials, but they will be involved in this. I have other people with over 500K followers on Gram for gambling and stocks who are going to go live and promote the coin and funnel people into the Discord that, like, I'm not gonna lie, this guy is giving me like he's a plant. Like that's the vibe he's giving me. He's not giving me that much information. Like at the end of the day, right? All of this is great. Did he gamble and did he influence the lines or not? I think a lot of people are doing a lot of talking, but that is the thing that we do not have clarified. Right? The NBA is in business with these gambling companies. So this is like a weird gray area. Right. And I think what we need to get to the bottom of what needs to come out of these investigations is, did Malik Beasley bet on his games with information that he knows? Did he pass that information along to other people to bet and gamble as well too? And did he impact those numbers by doing something X, Y, or Z in a game? Right. I will say, Terry Rozier had popped up, Jonte Porter had popped up, and now, Malik Beasley. That's 3 people, right? And as much as I want to believe that these guys weren't doing anything shady, we just heard, what is that, a couple years ago, the big Glenn Davis scandal with the insurance. So these multimillionaires are doing something still. And this kind of feels like one of those situations where there's smoke, there's fire. And I genuinely hope that this isn't true, because something that's been questioned as of late when it comes to the NBA already is the integrity of the game. A lot of people question the integrity of the game in one way or the other. Not even related to gambling, right? The people that talk about these guys only play for stats, these guys play for money, they don't play to win, they don't do this, X, Y, and Z. That is ruining the integrity of the game. Right? The reports of teams pulling guys so that they don't get certain statistics, right? This whole notion that not every team is trying to win the championship every year, again, puts in question the integrity of the game. So I really, really hope that this isn't true, because that would be really, really terrible if it were. It would be really, really sad if it were. Now, Where's this one? Wait, where the hell is this report that I saw? All right, so you know, this is a little bit of a lighter note. I don't think it's necessarily good either, but it's a little bit of a lighter note. So reports came out right after Ben Simmons had allegedly turned down the minimum offer from the New York Knicks. Allegedly, his agent has now dropped him as a client. Now he's in a weird spot, right? And I think agents a lot of times have a bad rap, right? We shit on agents for the percentages, and some of these guys really are scumbags and steal and so on and so forth, but there are good ones. And at the end of the day, you're in that job to make money for your client and for yourself. For Ben Simmons' agent, I believe his name is Bernie Lee, for his agent to leave him. Wait, is this the same guy? I think this is the same guy. Oh, this is the same agent. I knew it. This is the same. This is Jimmy Butler's agent. The one that was calling Cap on Shams Charania, only for him to come back at him and say, no, this is not Cap. And for everything that Shams said to be true. So that guy who stood 10 toes with Jimmy Butler, despite all of the reports, isn't willing to stand by Ben Simmons. And if I had to guess as to why, it's because there are no other offers. He probably looked at Ben like, brother, this is your only offer. There is no team that wants you. And honestly, if you're Ben Simmons, right? How old is Ben? Let's see how old is Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is 29 years old. Why wouldn't you sign a minimum, ball out, and then look for another contract? Why is that not your way of thinking? Is it a confidence issue? Like, what is the issue? Now, there's reports that he might retire. It is such a sad decline that we've seen out of him. This guy came from being the next LeBron, Magic Johnson, to Ben Simmons. And it's sad because we've talked about it before, right? You have two players that do the same thing, but one of them is extremely, extremely confident. That confidence sometimes is enough to take guys over the top. Your lack of confidence could make you look like a much worse basketball player than you actually are. Add injuries to that equation, it further, right, adds weight to that lack of confidence, and you get Ben Simmons. And I think genuinely that is what happens to him. Some people want to say the jump shots. I think he probably had his confidence was fragile to begin with. Right? And I can't see another team that would use him. I'm done defending Ben. I was always of the mindset, you get a 6'10" player, athlete, could defend and pass. That is a very useful player only in NBA 2K, right? In real life, it don't play out that way when it comes to Ben Simmons. So GG's to this guy. If I were him, what could he do? I don't think he can make content because he would just get clowned. If I were him, I'd retire and go disappear somewhere, bro. Like, genuinely, go retire and disappear somewhere. I don't know what else he could do, because if he goes online, I think he's gonna get cooked by the internet. So genuinely, I don't know. I don't. He'll probably be like a motivational speaker for anxiety or some shit. I don't know what this guy's gonna do, but it ain't the NBA. It ain't the NBA. That's for damn sure. And I think there's probably a lot of NBA people that, if I had to assume, feel the same way that I do, right? Who have looked at him over the last couple years like, there is something there with your size and athleticism, but I think everyone at this point has given up. Right? So GG's to him, man. GG's to him. I think it's over. All right. Now, from actually, let me take a look at this. Let's see this, man. Let's see what Josh Giddey did last year. Excuse me. All right, Josh Giddey just signed to a $100 million deal spanning 4 years. Last season he averaged 14.6 to go with 8.1 rebounds and 7.2 assists and 1.2 steals, right? Shot 46% from the field, 37% from three. So these are all excellent numbers. Right? These are all excellent numbers. Now, is he going to be your cornerstone? By this contract, I don't know if it necessarily means that, but it does mean that they value him a lot, right? Because we want to hold on to you for the next 4 years. You have how tall is he? You have like he's 6'8". You have a 6'8" guard, essentially a point guard, who's a triple-double threat. Right, for his career, he's averaging 14.6, 14.1, 7.5, and 6.1. Those are great numbers. And for me, I'm curious as to why he didn't try to get into a different situation. If I was Josh Giddey, I get trying to hold down the contract, but if you're gonna get paid that much, let's say he, for some reason, goes from 14.6 to 20. Now you're locked into that contract for the next 4 years, right? And I think he's a player. There were reports of Golden State loving him. I think teams could really use a Josh Giddey, right? His lack of defense is probably going to be something that's looked at. But I genuinely think that he's someone that could really, really help a team win. And now he's going to be on Chicago, who historically over the last 25 years, 27 years, has just not been good. Right? Outside of the short stretch with Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah. Truthfully, what I'm seeing with this Chicago team, and let me look at their roster last season. Lonzo Ball is not there. Matas Buzelis, I'm a fan. Zach Collins, Talon Horton Tucker, Kevin Huerter. Zach is no longer there. Kobe White, Nikola Vucevic. So, I mean, the weird thing about Chicago, and give me 1 second. Right, the thing about Chicago, all of these names on paper, like, they have some talent, right? They have some talent. Kobe White and Josh Giddey were a great duo last season, but I just don't love the collection of talent, right? If you're going to have a Josh Giddey and a Kobe White on your team as your starting guards, essentially, I think you need to complement them with athletic wings that could defend and have size. right? Matas Buzelis, I think he's a solid player, but he's just not the super athlete that can make up for some of the deficiencies that both Kobe White and Josh Giddey have. Like, Josh Giddey is not the fastest, not the most athletic player, but he's 6'8". And you have, Kobe White, who's got more athleticism, right? But he's 6'5", and I don't even think he's that, right? So, pairing them, Nikola Vucevic is getting older. I think you need to be able to run with this team, right? They played a slower pace of basketball, genuinely, and I don't know if people agree with this. I think a fully healthy Lonzo Ball to go with a Josh Giddey and a Kobe White, I would have liked to see that, but obviously that's not going to happen because Lonzo pushes pace. It'll force mismatches, and if you combine some athletic wings with that trio, that could have been a really, really nice combination. But looking at this team presently constructed, I just don't love it. I know they had some really crazy wins. That game winner on LA last year. Josh Giddey had some moments. Kobe White was hooping. But when you get to the bottom of it, Kobe was averaging 20. Vucevic was averaging 18.5. Wait, what is this? Oh, 14 points. There it is. So fantastic. Let's see. Let me hit this with a refresh to see if there's even more. Oh. This is some more big news. So Shams had also reported that the NBA will implement a new change for the 2025-2026 season. Unsuccessful end of the period heaves will now be recorded as a missed field goal attempt for the team, not the players, sources tell ESPN. Those long heaves will no longer impact an individual player's percentage, and my question is why? My question is why? It is a goddamn shot attempt. Like, the one thing that I hate, and I saw a video earlier of Jokic trying to, draw these fouls from full court to shoot, and he's, people are arguing. He's trying to shoot the fucking basketball. Whether you think it's going to make it there or not has no weight in that conversation if you are taking a shot attempt. I don't understand this. Even the report of, off the backboard passes don't count as assists. Like, how? It is so clear when throwing off a backboard is a pass versus a shot attempt. It is so clear, right? Whether it's a successful one or not, then you count it as a turnover. But, like, to me, the fact that that's even in question. You guys went through the summer and this was y'all conversation. Hey, guys. So, going into the next year, what do you think we need to tackle, right? There's been a lot of three-point shots. There's been this, the lack of defense, physicality. We're trying to balance out the league. And amongst all of those questions and conversations, what they come up with is not counting end of the period heaves as a field goal attempt for the players and instead have it go against the team. What fucking sense does that make? It's a shot. If you don't want it, don't shoot it, which then adds the extra layer of now you got to go deal with your teammates. Now you got to go deal with your teammates. Chris Paul hates that shit. That's one of his pet peeves. When a guy will shoot it, but he'll do it after the buzzer so it don't go against his field goal percentage. He's like, dog, that was an extra 3 points we could have had. Granted, 90% of the time, 99% of the time, it don't go in. That don't mean you don't take that opportunity. I get why players would like this, right? Their field goal percentage will, they could put these shots up, potentially get 3 points on their stats while also not impacting their field goal percentage. So I get why the players would love it, but again, it overcomplicates something that should be so simple, right? That shouldn't even be a subject for debate, in my opinion. Like, the fact that that's what they came up with in the middle of the summer is silly to me, amidst everything going on in the league. That's what y'all came up with. That's silly, right? That's super silly to me. Let's see what else we got. All right, dog. All right, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I think I'm gonna keep this nice and short today. Go put my fucking head down. But if you've tuned in today, thank you so much for hanging out with me, man. Before I get out of here, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. As always, I really, really appreciate y'all. Y'all could have been anywhere on the internet, but y'all were here with me, and I appreciate you for that. So thank you so much. I'll see y'all on Friday. You have a great rest of y'all day, man. You have a good one.